Probably my favorite dry fly hook. This thing's a bad little unit.
Yep.
Fish have a tendency to come up aggressively. You know, you want that bigger gap, and that bigger gap not only does two things.
All right, thanks for tuning in. We're sitting here in the home gym / filming studio, and it's butt cold outside. We thought we'd go over our favorite dry fly hooks. We had a really good response on a steelhead article that we did on our favorite steelhead hooks. So Ed McCoy drove up to the house today, and we're gonna talk about dry flies. So some of his favorite hooks, the ones that he ties all his platforms on, we're gonna break them down and real quickly kind of make it simple for you guys, because there's a lot of different hooks out there that you can choose from, and we're only going to focus on a couple, three right now to simplify it, but we'll let Ed take it from here. What do we got?
Well, first off, I mean, this is not, you know, like the golden rule, you have to have these. You know, there's a lot of other hooks out there. I've been tying on tie and go forever. Some people like them, some people don't, but I have 100% confidence in that hook, and I know that if a fish eats that fly, I'm gonna get them. Right. So I don't have a lot of failure. You know, as far as what I'm using a lot, I mean, these are probably the three hooks that I use 95% of the time in my flies.
And what are they?
So the first one is just a standard Tiemco 100, right? This is just a standard dry fly hook. Tie most of my Roberts Drakes, a lot of my, you know, basic.
We're going through the whole mayfly family with it.
Yeah, pretty much everything that I tie is going to be on this, unless I'm doing something different, like an extended body, or foam extended body, or hoppers. And then I have separate hook choices.
Will you run your hex off the 100?
No, it's a little light for that program. So anytime you start getting to running 2, 1, 0x tippets, you're putting a lot of pressure on that hook point to get that fish in. So usually for that style fly, I'll beef it up.
Okay, and what are we gonna go do?
So for that, I'm running the 5263.
Okay.
Which is just a 2x heavy. You can tie to basically a nymph streamer hook, but you know, you're tying some bigger flies on it, so I'm not too worried about it sinking my fly.
Sure, your hoppers,
your
stones.
Hoppers, your hexes, anything that's gonna be bigger, bushier. It's gonna float higher in the water column, even though the hook is heavier. So, but it's also got heavier wires, so it's a lot stronger. I can put a lot more pressure on those bigger trout.
Right.
Especially, you know, during hex, it's, you know, water temps are typically a little bit warmer.
Right.
It's not time to screw around, let's get them in, right? So, and we're typically fishing heavier tippets.
Sure.
Same thing with hoppers. I'm not running a lot of 4X and 5X, a lot of 2 and 3X.
Oh yeah, and there's a couple reasons for that other than line twist.
You
know, opportunity knocks when you're twitching a hopper. You got to be able to pull them in.
We actually had a fish break the rod before it bent the hook.
Ooh, ouch.
Client listened well.
All right, pull.
Pull, he did.
All right, my favorite one.
Yep, so this is probably my favorite dry fly hook. This thing's a bad little unit.
Yep.
This is the 102Y.
Tiemco, please make this in more sizes.
Yes. It comes in quite a range of sizes. If you look this one up, you'll see that it comes in odd sizes, 11, 13, 15, 17.
And how are you relating that to your patterns?
So like the male Hendrickson, for instance, it's not, you know, it's not a 14, it's not a 16, it's kind of that in-between size.
Number 15.
Yeah, so we'll run the 15.
But what about sulfur? Will you tie off the 15 for the 16, or are you looking for the 13 for the 16?
I'd probably go to the 17, honestly.
All right.
It's a little bit smaller. I think the 15 is just a little bit bigger than what the sulfur actually would be. So typically with sulfurs, I'm tying on a 16-100 most of the time. But if I need to get creative and do something different, then yeah, that 17 in this 102Y is a great option.
Yep.
And you know, it's got a bigger gap, those smaller hooks. Can make a difference.
Yeah, last year we really noticed when we were running our late summer program, when we brought the ant onto this hook, how much the hookup ratio went up. So we really liked
anytime you're running that extended body. profile, that foam platform, fish have a tendency to come up aggressively. You know, you want that bigger gap, and that bigger gap not only does two things. Obviously, it hooks them better, but it doesn't hook them deep most of the time, right? Because it's a bigger hook, so they can't swallow it as far. And that's a positive too. But anytime you're running foam, anything like that, extended body dry flies, you need that bigger gap. Most of the standard dry fly hooks will work, but having that bigger gap makes a difference when that fish takes on that fly in its mouth.
Yep.
It just gives you more places to hook. There's something about how it rides on the water when they eat it. You know, I find that my hookup ratios, like you mentioned, are way more positive.
Yes. And that's, you know, all what we're looking for when we're throwing that dry fly out there and the fish comes up and he doesn't push the fly out of the way and you get them and you know, for us, it's all about the customer.
Oh yeah.
You know, happy customer, happy guide. So, but anyway, well, cool. We're going to do a blog post and we're going to expand on this. So make sure to check that out as well at mangledfly.com. Thanks for tuning in. Any questions, leave a comment, hit us directly, go to our website. Thank you, Ed.
Hey, thank you.
All right. Have a good day.